Our final guest this morning represents someone who is helping to reach across generational lines. Carrie Ryan began developing intergenerational programs in high school. She founded Bridging the Generations, an organization that connects high schools and retirement communities through service learning projects. Because of her innovative work in connecting the young and the old, Carrie was awarded the 2009 Generations United Youth Award. Please join me in welcoming Carrie Ryan.
Good morning. Well, one of my favorite things to do during high school was to go to my grandfather's nursing home and spend the afternoon with him. And I remember one afternoon, I was sitting next to his bed and holding his hand, and we were talking about what it was like to be a little boy when he grew up. And his nurse came in, and I'd seen his nurse many times before, and she gave him pills, and she came in and she asked me, "What are you doing here? It's such a beautiful day outside. Shouldn't you be with your younger friends?" And I've been met with a lot of opposition like that. I've been met with a lot of questioning as to why I enjoy being around older people. My friends always find it confusing that I'd rather call bingo instead of going to the latest movie, or that I am interested in going into gerontology when I'm older because they just can't fathom a profession that would work with older people. And I keep getting these messages, and what I understand is that a lot of people don't think that there is room for older people in younger people's lives, that it's somehow unnatural, that the generations should be segregated. And I want to tell you it's very much not that case. My life has been enriched, it's been made meaningful, it's been made purposeful by being with older people. The lessons that I've learned, the stories that I've heard at nursing homes and senior centers that I've worked at over the years have influenced my life greatly. I've learned what it means to walk hand in hand in a civil rights march, or to fight for women's rights, or to be the only woman in a college classroom. And I've realized how lucky I am and to grow up with such wonderful mentors who teach me really what it is to be in this society and to be together among generations. And it feels right. And so I wanted to give that to my fellow young people, to my fellow classmates. So I started this organization called Bridging the Generations. And what it tries to do is it tries to get younger and older people together in meaningful activities. And it's proven entirely successful. We had one girl who took this aging and literature class that we set up, and who started volunteering at the local senior center, who said at the beginning of the year that she was afraid of older people, and now she's taking a minor in gerontology at UCLA. And so it's just wonderful stories like this that just really encourage me to say that young and old need to be together. It's the right thing to do. It makes younger people's lives more rich. It makes older people's lives more rich. And together we are stronger. This summer I received a grant to do undergraduate research, anthropological research in India. And I went out to this very rural village in Vishakhapatnam, India. And I stayed for a week in a small hut with 22 members of the same family who lived jointly. And there were 4 generations under the same roof. And I was sitting in this hut, and I watched this great-grandmother stroke the head of her younger granddaughter. And everybody together worked together throughout the generations. There was no segregation. And it felt right. The place felt whole. And I have extreme faith that we can do that here. I feel that these shared sites where young and old are coming together in meaningful and purposeful ways is the only way to a brighter future for both the young and the old. We have a lot to say to one another, but there are things that are standing in the way of the young and the old. And I applaud the work of Generations United for making it easier for young people like me to spend time with older people, and for it not to be so unnatural and for it not to be so difficult to get together, but for it to be normal and for it to be coming up in this world as something that is just going to be joined generations and just the way of the future. And so I really would like to thank Generations United for being a leader in this wonderful sect, wonderful generations. And I'm very, very, very encouraged and want to tell you that there are younger people out there who are working to bring together the generations and to see the value in being with older people. And thank you very much for all that you all do, and thank you for having me here.
Brief reflection, this first-time event for us. Whether you are an advocate or provider, a business person, a foundation executive, a policy leader on Capitol Hill, this document, Family Matters, is must-read. And we will encourage you to go back and create in your own venues just this kind of discussion. We wanted to model here today the real world of people who in a country who has plenty of resources. Resources are not the issue. Leadership is the issue. And framing the questions becomes the leadership challenge for all of us. So you've heard today the wisdom of three seasoned policy leaders in this town, thought leaders, and you've heard three different personal stories about the importance of these programs. The intersection of those two things is where the policy ought to be. The story is not someone's political rhetoric position on a particular issue. The story is in this room. And you'll see from the Harris Interactive information, the American people want to be fair, just, even in tough times. And we know how to do that, don't we? And you look at the resourcefulness of the three stories that you've heard here today. We're a resourceful people. We're not a complaining people. We're not normally a people that goes after other people. We know that that's wrong. So Generations United is an organization that is standing at the intersection of good policy, a good moral fabric of this country, the preservation of the most important thing we have, and that's our human capital and the family. And all of those things can come together to do a better job than we're doing. That's our job, to help put these issues on the table, and we thank all of you for your leadership. One, we're thankful to you for stimulating this discussion, and these stories. I'm this nude modeling thing. I'm thinking, I don't know, nude facilitation may be one. But to think about the resourcefulness behind these great stories. Thank you for attending and your support, Donna, for your great leadership. And look forward to Generations Uniting, keeping these issues on the table. Go home and do likewise. And if we can help you, we will do so. Thank you.